I'm going in to the office today, which means I have to do my makeup. So I ordered the Rouge Coco Gloss from Chanel in the shade Icing the other day. I think this is just the classic Chanel lip gloss, and it's in the shade Icing, which I think is a pretty iconic baby pink. We're gonna try that out today. It's been, I think, like well over a decade since I owned a Chanel lip gloss, which is crazy to me because I remember literally being in university. That's when I had my first Chanel Rouge Coco Gloss. It was in this coral color, and I remember I really loved it too. So like, why didn't I continue using this product? I don't know, it's really perplexing to me, but whatever. You know, I don't want to speak too early, but I am expecting somewhat of a raise pretty soon. It's not a promotion technically because I'm gonna have the same job title and responsibilities and everything, but it's more just a move from contract to permanent position, which would come with an increase in salary. By the way, I'm just gonna use this Kate Popping Silhouette Shadow Quad for my eyes today. I haven't used this one in a minute, and I'm in kind of like a lilac mode or mood today. I really like lilac or a more cool toned purple shadow with like red lipstick. It just seems like one of those combinations that you're not supposed to do because both colors are kind of bold and unnatural, you could say, but I don't know, it just reminds me of like Jessica Rabbit or Ursula, all the iconic characters. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I think I might, knock on wood, it's pretty much almost set in stone that I'm going to get a slight salary raise soon. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that makes me want to treat myself a little bit. I have a whole list of all this luxury makeup actually that I want to buy because like I don't know what it is. Is it an age thing? Is it a life experience thing? By the way, sorry, there's been construction outside daily nonstop in my neighborhood ever since the year started, and like I just can't, there's nothing I can do about it. I'll try to sound isolate this video later so that you guys don't have to suffer. Yeah, what was I saying? I don't know if it's age or just the feeling of wanting a more luxurious experience, or more than likely a big factor is that I feel like a lot of drugstore brands just keep getting more and more expensive every year. Like the price point creep on drugstore brands is getting a little out of control. Yes, there are great drugstore formulas out there, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of mediocre formulations just dressed up in hype and packaging, essentially. And I feel like if I'm just gonna pay the inflated price for a mediocre product that I don't see myself using long term anyway, like most of the time with drugstore products, I'm sorry to say, and I'm talking about like J Beauty, C Beauty, K Beauty, I'm sorry to say, but after the first week or so, or like just the first time trying out a new product, after the novelty wears off, there's very few percentage of products that I find to be good enough to want to go back to over and over again. So yeah, I feel like if I don't even feel that I'm getting my money's worth with the majority of drugstore products these days, I might as well just spend a little bit more for a luxury product, like a department store brand. And oftentimes the thing is, if you consider the cost per gram, a lot of times the department store products do come out to be quite reasonable, or sometimes even cheaper than the drugstore brands, because they tend to have just more product in their containers. I don't know. And like in my experience, I don't really get sick of using my department store favorites either as quickly as I do drugstore products. And I know that some of that is psychological. It's not necessarily because the department store product or the luxury product is superior in performance in every single scenario. But like regardless though, if I'm happy with the performance and I'm happy with the luxury experience, and if that alone keeps me, you know, just satisfied and continuing to get that dopamine and psychological reward from using that product, then again, at the end of the day, I feel like it's a better investment, particularly in the instance where I have a specific luxury product in mind. It's better for me to just go ahead and get that one instead of trying to find a dupe. I feel like that's the scenario where it's really more worth it to just spend the extra money or save a little bit longer to get the more expensive product that you really want. Buy it once or buy it twice, as they say. Okay, so for the glitter top coat, I'm not a huge fan of the one that comes in this palette because it's a little dry. So I'm gonna go in with, instead, my ColourPop Bratz palette. And they have some really beautiful purple tones in here. So I'm gonna use a mixture of this shade and this one. This one has like chunkier glitters. Okay, this shade had kind of like a pale gold overlay that I wasn't really expecting. That's not really what I wanted. Probably should have just gone directly into this pressed glitter, but anyway. Let's go ahead and put some on now. Okay, and then my new obsession, the Can Make Radiation Cheeks. I was debating between this and like a lilac shade for the cheeks to keep it more monochromatic, but I gotta do the pink today because nothing lights up my soul quite the way that pink blush does. I always do the blush like either before my eyeshadow or after eyeshadow, but before eyeliner and mascara and all of that, just so that I can freely, you know, blend the blush into the eyeshadow. I mentioned this in my other Get Ready With Me when I first tried out this blush, but it does have a slight patchiness problem. Or it could just be my face, like there's certain areas that are just not taking the blush. See, if I go in like this with a pointed denser brush and I really concentrate it on the spaces that are patchy or not holding as much pigment, I can manage to get it to smooth out, but I kind of wish that it just applied 100% evenly from the get-go. It's kind of annoying to do this extra step. But see, this is what I mean, right? These are the little things that you have to deal with, I feel like, when you opt for drugstore products. Does that mean that every single higher-end blush product is going to be perfect and seamless? No. But more often than not, the ones that get the most hype, the ones that people recommend over and over again, yeah, I'm gonna have to say that, like, I'm starting to come around. I'm starting to realize that, okay, there is something to be said about spending more for quality up front and then just being able to rely on that product fully until you pan it or empty it. Okay, I'm gonna add a tiny bit of this Flower Nose Lilac Blush from the Swan Ballet series, just to make it ever so slightly more lilac leaning and add that extra layer of milkiness, if you will. I'm running out of time, so let me just quickly finish the rest of my eyes. Ooh, that is a long wing. I love a long, drawn-out wing. We're doing strip lashes today because no time. So I'm going to use this Milky Pink Creamy Touch Liner from Can Make as a lip liner, actually. Because remember, you can use your makeup items for multiple purposes other than just what it's advertised as. And since this is the lightest color, cream color liner shade that I have, I thought it would be perfect for the Chanel Rouge Coco Icing shade. You know what? It hurts my heart to get the doe foot applicator dirty, so I'm actually just going to grab a disposable applicator. You can get these in packs of 10 at Daiso, or you could stealthily take a few from every drugstore. They normally have them out along with the cotton pads and stuff for testers. But if you don't want to be gauche, just go ahead and buy them yourself from Daiso. Ooh, I forgot that this smells like roses. I thought this was a scentless gloss. That's okay, I don't mind the scent. Okay, I'm probably gonna regret this, but I tried to do a thin layer and it wasn't really giving, so we're gonna revert back to my method of globbing it on. It's not as even and opaque as I was hoping it would be, but if I do it any thicker than this, it's just gonna be really gloopy. Okay, I really like the formula. It's just as good as I remembered from 10 years ago. It's like thick, but not too sticky. I don't feel like my lips are being glued together. I just wish that this shade was slightly more opaque. I mean, I get it. I understand it's a light pink, baby pink. But yeah, I wish there was a way to make it like the color in the tube without over applying. Maybe I'll have to try to blank out my lips with concealer or something next time. Today I don't have any time left, so yeah, that is my finished look, my going into the office, everyday, natural, glam type of look. Not gonna lie, I am contemplating stopping by a few beauty counters in the department store, either on my way to or on my way back from work, because, not gonna lie, there's a couple of things that I've been wanting. Like, I have a running list in my head, and it's kind of getting out of control. Okay, I want at least 2 new lipsticks. I want Okay, I want like a new luxury red lipstick. I always say, like, I always try red lipsticks from drugstore brands, and I feel like I gaslight myself into thinking that I'm happy with them. Usually right after I apply it, I'm happy with it because it looks exactly the way that I imagine in my head. But then the thing with a lot of drugstore formulas is that I feel like they wear down unevenly across my lips. Like, I notice that certain areas of my lips will thin out or fade out quicker than other areas. So it always inevitably becomes this like blotchy, uneven mess when it comes to really, really bold colors like red or just any super pigmented lipstick really. I'm just more satisfied with the wear overall of lipsticks from luxury brands. I feel like they wear down more consistently. Even if it fades, which all formulas do, eventually it will fade at a consistent rate throughout the entire surface area of my lips. So anyway, there's this new line of limited edition colors from one of the matte lipstick ranges at Chanel. I forget the name, Rouge Velvet or something. And I want one of the Hermes lipsticks because they just look absolutely phenomenal and gorgeous. I owned one of their lip balms before. It's in the same packaging as the lipstick. And I have to say, although yes, Hermes makeup does come at a hefty price tag, like even more so than MAC or Chanel or any of these other luxury brands, I have to say that like it's worth it, especially as a once in a while treat to yourself. The quality that you're getting, both in terms of packaging and formulation, I do feel like it matches the Hermes price point. But yeah, so I want that, and I'm low-key terrified of going to any of the department store counters because I know that it's not gonna stop at just one lipstick. Like, hello. Okay, there's other things that I want. I want that Sublimage foundation from Chanel. That one, like, I don't think I can quite commit to yet because that one, I just checked the price. It's like over 20,000 yen. Yeah, we're not there yet, but a lipstick, I think for sure, it's just a matter of time before I cave because I've been thinking nonstop about wanting like a new go-to luxury red lipstick. Okay, I've been trying my best. I've been writing it out as best as I can with my good old Fenty matte liquid lip, but if I'm gonna be honest, this one is really starting to stink and it's falling apart too. See? The stopper is not even attached anymore. It won't attach. So even though there is still a lot of product in here, and I do love this Fenty formula, but I don't know, I feel like I just need an easier go-to classic bullet red lip. I don't know, we'll see. If I go to the counter, I will film a little bit and show you at the end of this video. But for now, thanks for watching and I'll catch up with you next time. Bye! Okay, so I did end up swinging by the Chanel counter. I was in such a hurry, so I didn't have time to really film all that much, but I ended up purchasing this really rich rose shade. I know I said I wanted an everyday red, but once I tried on this rose, it just made my face look so much brighter, and I just knew that it was the perfect like everyday shade for me. So I'll definitely try that on with you guys in the next video. And she also gave me Sublimage samples for both the foundation and sunscreen as well. So super excited to try out all of my new goodies.